almost fell. Oh, the creek. All these days we're gonna have this cleaned up. All these days. Not today. All right, welcome back to the journey, folks. So, a few of you had commented on one of the last Scuttlebutt videos that we had done that you would like to see, because we had talked about we were changing plans and we're no longer doing the major project that we were going to do this year, which was the cellar. Obviously, I really like to do that. I do still plan on moving sheds. So the blue shed, the other big shed, we do plan on moving those still. I do plan on still making pads and all that good nonsense and whatnots. But our big project for the year now is going to be making a road and clearing out the area going up the ridge. So a few folks have said, yeah, we would like to see that. Some of our newer subscribers said they wanted to be able to see that. So get over here. I have a big root that's right in my roadway for my tractor. So I'll just throw it over here out of the way. So I've also been moving dirt and trying to just get everything all in one pile the best of my ability. But I have some here. I have some over there. I have some here, which this was actually from where the old house was. So this actually has a lot of trash in it. But yeah, as you can see, got like PVCs, got stuff, got metal, just a bunch of stuff in there, ceramics. And pardon the wind, I still don't have a mic set up yet for this camera, but yeah, anyway, that's going to be another project, a little side project that I'm going to be building a screener to be able to screen out all of this dirt. So yesterday I actually came over here and I had cleared out the big area. So over here by the shop that I still got to finish putting the roof on. But we had a big area here that I was burning stuff, and I'm still going to be cleaning this up a little bit gooder than what it is. But this is where I'm going to be coming to screen materials. So definitely look forward to that coming here fairly soon. That's just going to be one of those little side projects, you know, because obviously clearing land and making a road and doing all that stuff, especially when I don't have a dozer, I don't have a, you know, the big equipment to come in here and do it quickly. It's going to be a work in progress. So obviously I'll show some of that progress, and then when it's all said and done, you know, because I mean, I don't know, I might even get to the point where, who knows, we might hire someone to come do it, or just take my time and do it myself with the tractor. I don't know. So yeah, it's one of those things that we're still kind of thinking about. Obviously I'm going to be going through here and clearing out a lot of the stuff I can, you know, trees, you know, all that stuff, you know, to the best of my ability. And man, I still got to get up here, and I never did bury this, and us driving over it just completely damaged the PVC. So now I got to clean this up. Got to fix the gate. I need new batteries. Yeah. Anyway, let's get you flipped around and let's go take a walk. Okay, so for the newer folks that are here, this is the side road. So technically, this is an easement road. We still haven't seen the paperwork for that, but it leads up and around to National Forest. So this is a tertiary entrance for them for fire control and yada yada whatnots. They don't use this road, but we do have neighbors and other people that come up here and go in there for hunting, but we want to close it off. So as you come up and you come in to where our gate is, obviously this goes over to the house and all the other stuff. So down here below is where basically animals are going to be. The house that we are in right now is going to be like a guest house, or the gathering house is what we've been calling it. And yeah, so for holidays, Thanksgivings, Christmases, and stuff like that, we'll be able to come down here, utilize that as just a gathering area. We do plan on modifying that building just a little bit to be able to, do said things. And then obviously this is where the shop's going to be. YouTube studio is going to be here. Eventually I'm going to be having like my blacksmith shop, my sawmill, all that stuff's going to be over here by the pond where I was showing you guys where I plan on separating dirt. So this is all like farm type stuff, right? The homestead type stuff. And then on top of the hill, we are going to be building our forever home. And that's mainly just going to be only a house for the most part. We do plan on putting a fence, just around the yard, just having a real nice yard. So this road right here up to where I stand. So far we've walked maybe 30 feet, give or take 40 feet. So from where the gate is to where I'm at now, I've already walked up maybe 4 feet elevation. I know it's hard to see on camera, but from here, excuse me, this clearing, there used to be a road here back in 2006, from what I've seen on like historical map data. And I tried clearing it with a tractor to the best of my ability, and it's way too steep. So this incline here, especially once it gets to that pine tree, the one standing by itself, gets to be almost a 40% or a 40-degree incline. So it's way too steep. Obviously, it probably was just like a logging road that was utilized, back in the day. So what I'm going to do, and we really don't want to be doing switchbacks. So obviously the switchbacks, we can go out and then come back and then go back and then go up, right? We could do that, but we don't want to do that. So where our land is positioned, so this entire ridge line that's right here. So obviously if you see across where those trees are, that's another ridge over there, and then a valley, and then a ridge. So our property kind of is in between two ridges and part of this ridge, which we're like kind of towards the end of it. So once we get up to the top of the property, basically it's fairly flat up there, but then it starts going back downhill on the other side. So I actually want to come in here, and I'm going to start going this way to kind of go around that ridge line. And I can even show a picture of kind of like the layout. So But I have a lot of stuff that I need to come in and cut down. So obviously a lot of little trees. There's going to be a few big trees just kind of coming through. But we'll kind of take a walk. Now, I really haven't marked off a path yet, but well, at least not here. I have walked it, and I do have a path that I follow on my phone from whenever I marked it the first time. But we'll come walk through here. Plus there's an old fence. So you see I have barbed wire, some old stuff going that way. And then you kind of see where the T-post is. So I'm also going to have to deal with that. Yeah. So, but I'm utilizing that T-post as like a marker for kind of the entrance, and I'm staying right here on the downward slope, which I don't know, I might even go, because there's a pretty big hole kind of like right here where I'm standing, that I might even go just to the upper side of where that T-post is, and then start bringing the road in and through. But we'll see. I don't know. I was kind of clearing that out. I do need to cut down all those trees right there by that T-post, and then kind of establish the first little area before starting to come in. And that's what I started working on yesterday. But we're going to continue walking that direction. Just to kind of see where we got to go. So it should be coming kind of through this area here. So if we kind of come back and look. So now from our T-post, so if we're staying on as we're looking, the right side of the T-post, we would actually be coming through this area here, kind of towards that stump. So, but you see there's a lot of stumps in here where previous owner has came in and cut down trees for stuff. But this is a fairly decent slope. I mean, I don't know how much you can see it on the camera, but I'm gonna have to cut stuff out, you know, and bring it over, because my tractor won't be able to ride on this. It's too steep to tip over. But basically coming through this area, so I'm gonna come through and just start marking some of the big trees that I need to cut, because obviously all these little tiny trees comes out really easily, but I do need to mark some of the big trees of what I need to cut down. So I'll say be continually going that way, right? So I'm trying to walk the easier path, not necessarily where the road's going. So I've been using this stump kind of as my marker, right? So now I can kind of see my marker of where I've been, where I'm going, and I can already see, you know, that there's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, some decent big trees that I do have to take out. But then I also plan on taking out some of these cedars or stuff that's going to be close to the road. Yeah. So once we get to here, now this ground is not too bad to where I can, from this point here, actually go more left and now start going kind of up the hill a little bit at this point, because now as I'm here, it's sloping down that way. So if I continue going straight, I'm just going to end up going back downhill again. And I want to be going uphill. So from here, this stump is a turn. That way now I'm going to turn it a little bit and start going up the hill very slowly. Let me get over here to this other stump, one that I've been kind of eyeballing, and then now I should be able to see my other stump that's through the woods. So I know that I got to take out a few of these big trees here, and then so I have another stump. I'm still kind of eyeballing, and I'm still going that way. Just following stumps. Following stumps. Excuse me. So that's another big stump where I'm just following lay of the land. Now see, at this point here, I have this giant oak right here. I mean, it's pretty good size. And that side of the oak, the land is starting to like flatten out a little bit. Not much, but it is flatter up there. Then once you get to the oak, it's like really going downhill quickly. So by the time I get to this stump here, I should be on that side of the stump to where I'm working my way through all this right here. You can see I got rocks, I got stuff I got to deal with, but I should be on the left side of these trees here by the time I get to this point. Okay. So if I come through here, now I'm kind of up here on top of this little hill, and from here it's actually not that bad. So you see I got a dead tree. I can keep going that direction. This is actually fairly flat. It's not sloping downhill that much. So from here, you know, I can go. I still don't want to go straight up the hill because that's still fairly steep, but I do want to keep going that direction, but still trying to go up the hill the best of my ability, right? Because we're trying to get up the hill. But not going up the hill very, very steep. So I don't know if you can see. So I have another stump that I'm kind of using as my reference point. That's what I was looking for. So that stump, dead tree, the other big stump that was back there. It's hard to see from here, but I can see it. All right, so now we're moving to that stump. I know talking head videos don't do that great on this channel, but I still wanted to show the major project that we're working on. All right, so this stump here, we're staying to the left of it. Now, if you can see where I'm at, this is our walking trail. All right, this is kind of where I had my old setup for the hunting blind. So I already knew once I got to here, I was gonna be kind of in that area. So, but once we get over to that dead tree, I can almost cut through right here. So I could probably even, I mean, this isn't that bad. Cut it through more to like towards this stump here. I'd probably have to stay right in this area, but we'd have to continue coming through here, right? Coming through this area, still working our way that way, kind of coming back around the side of the hill. Ah, vine got me. All right, I have a few other stumps over here that I'm kind of keeping my eye on. Because once we get to this side of that walking path that goes up, I can really, from here, I can really start to go around, because our land, it does kind of curve, right? Obviously, you've seen the picture. I can throw it up here again to kind of remind you that these contours, it kind of curves around the same way that this road's going to go. So at this point, you know, I can even really curve to the left and start going back. You know, because this is a decent incline. You know, it's not that steep. Kind of come through here. So from where our last one is, I still can kind of continue going through this way. Just keep going that way, because our walking trail is still that way. But at this point, right, this is not that steep to where I can really start curving back to the left. And just kind of coming back through here. Ow, vines, 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 vines. I have more stumps that I can reference from. Right over there, it like really drops down, because there's almost like some rocks over there, and almost like a little waterfall type thing. Yeah, so definitely want to stay away from that, but then still continue going through. And it's still, I still think it'd be too steep to just go straight up here, but we can definitely still, you know, stay with the contour, because you want to stay as long as it's under a 6%, right? We want to stay under a 6% grade, and I'll do that. So I think I'm still gonna have to kind of be going through here, going up. I'm not gonna walk through there, obviously. It's really thick over on this side. really thick, but and then some of these like really big oaks, they kind of see. I'm also using some of these as like reference marks, right? Places that we can go. I don't want to cut those down. Oh, fine. There we go. Yeah, some of these big trees, right? I'm not wanting to cut these down. So, just going to use them as reference. This would be, we would definitely be able to stay on the left side of this big tree, continuing to go. So we're actually almost to the top. Almost to the top. And then, yeah, I mean, from here, I basically would be able to go anywhere because this is all, you know, flat enough that it's going to stay, you know, a decent grade once I've gotten to this level. So, wow. Couple big trees that have been down for a while. Yeah, and then once we get up here, we're gonna come back over to where the actual build site will be. And of course, I came up here with y'all, didn't bring my phone, but I pretty much know. Really haven't walked this portion of the property that much. But I also got some really cool trees that I've already looked at, like that one, that pine. Has an interesting curve down here at the bottom. Nice dead tree to reference. But yeah, we need to get going back that way. Because up here, basically where I'm at, this is all flat. So I know I'm already up at the 1,000-foot elevation mark. So once I get to the 1,000-foot elevation mark, I can go any direction I need to go. You gotta sweep that road around following that contour, right? So, and I probably don't even have to sweep as far as I did. But just kind of showing you like what we're having to do to get a road to come up here. You know, we just have to sweep around, follow those contours. It'd be a lot easier with good equipment. Have to look for some sheds while I'm up here too. Be nice. I haven't seen any. If you guys saw any while I was walking, let me know. I'll come back for it. I can see my stand through the trees. I can see the orange, and that's basically what we're trying to do, is get back over to that stand. But I know that some of this stuff in here is like really thick, and how the deer come through here, because I know this is actually one of the trails that they come through right here where I'm walking. Bye. Yeah, we have a whole bunch. So even some of this area right here where I'm standing will be getting cleared out, you know, because this will actually be part of our yard. And I'll come through, label trees that we want to keep. But I tell you right now, majority of this up here that you're seeing, all going away. Yeah, because we are not going to keep a whole lot of stuff up here. But tree stand, and I kind of have my little walking path here, and then it goes back down. But we'll take that path. But yeah, for the most part, this is it. This is our area where the house is going to sit, right in this area here, and then we can kind of go back that way, because that other really steep road that I showed you is what comes up over here. So actually where I'm walking now is part of that old logging road. This tree obviously grew up since then. It's easily a 20-year-old tree. And then obviously some small little saplings have not been here. This is probably only a few years old. And then, yeah, and then that road right here kind of goes down. And I'd never finished clearing it because, well, I can go show you. And it doesn't go up anywhere. It kind of stops here. That big tree there, keeping. This over here is actually going to stay basically exactly like it is now. So a portion of this here is going to get fenced off, you know, like I said, for our yard. A lot of this will be getting cleared out over here. But I think our yard, so if you kind of see where the down tree is right there, that's when it kind of really starts going back down the hill. So we'll fence off, you know, kind of along that ridge, just going around the houses. But we're gonna have the main house, a garage, and then my mom's house kind of on the other side of the garage. So it'll be two homes. We're gonna build her house first to be able to get her to the property whenever she's ready to move. But yeah, that's one of the biggest things that I just want to be able to get up here, which I wanted to do this one here because it would just allow me to come up here and start clearing the top, and then, you know, work on the road later. But I don't know, this was tough. Just getting to where I got to was tough. Just a lot of rocks. There's a lot of ruts. A lot of ruts from water. So as you can see, I'm already getting into the rocks and the ruts because obviously it was a road, and then not being maintained, water is going to take the path of least resistance, and it just washed a lot of this out. So to be able to continue this, which I wouldn't mind clearing this out and maybe having like a smaller little just ATV trail going down this path. Something easier to maintain, and you know, since it is so steep, but you can already see just some of the big rocks I'd have to deal with. Big rocks, right? So yeah, I didn't even make it halfway for the distance that I would have to clear. And even in four-wheel drive and low, I wasn't making any progress from where I stopped at. But yeah, obviously coming up here is just going to require, you know, for one, either a dozer or just bringing material in, you know, to cover up a lot of this ruts. And I got some nice big rocks. Nice big rocks. Be able to do stuff with maybe at some point if I can ever get here. Which, here's the end of my trail that I made it with the tractor. That was it. And then a lot of the water was kind of going back down that way off the side of the road, but you know, to be able to come through here, you know, is, yeah, it did not want to do that. So there we go. That's the walkabout. And whew, man, so from our road down here, I mean, I don't know like how much you can tell. So that's our post down there. I've already walked down quite a bit, and I have a chair. That's not my chair, but this is my property. Anyway, I'll ask Gladys to see, because if she brought that here, I, for one, don't recognize that chair. Even though it's not hunting season anymore, that's still a no. Nope. You are not coming on my property to hunt. And I have the signage and the purple paint. Yep, that ain't gonna happen. But yeah, this road, no go. So that's our walkabout. That's to show the project that I'm working on this year. So I'm either one, gonna do it all myself with the tractor and go very, very slow, obviously, or you know, just try to get those funds together, because we're still nobodies on YouTube. So yeah, we don't get paid. We don't ask for y'all to send us nothing. All we ask for is to watch our videos, share us out, help us grow, hit that subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and that's it. Just obviously watching the ads does help with the AdSense, but the biggest thing is leave us a comment. That we would love to hear stuff from y'all. So I know a lot of people are watching on their TV. That's just what the analytics show, and obviously you can't leave comments on the TV. You'd have to go onto your phone or a computer. So I can always put that link here on the screen. All you gotta do is take a picture of it. Normally, if you have any type of smartphone, you just take a picture and it'll take you directly where you need to go. Leave us a comment. It's greatly appreciated. So yeah, I can always get over here today and start cutting some stuff, but we got about 8 days worth of rain coming off and on. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. Said no one ever. Yeah, so that's it. We thank you, we appreciate you, and if you'd like to stick around a little bit further on this journey we are calling life, then go ahead and check out this video that YouTube suggests that you watch. I can throw up a playlist over here on the other side if you'd like to stick around a little bit further. Then icons up here at the top make it easy to subscribe both here and to our side channel if you're on a phone or computer. And then last but not least, always get out there, thank a veteran every chance you get, not only on Veterans Day, because you never know when it's going to be their last day. And we'll see you on the next one. Later, friends.